No need for all of that. No need for all that. Here we go. NBA draft is here. First round. Welcome back to the Holmes Field Advantage. And let's get right into it. The draft is live. I mean, I knew I was going to have a little bit more time on my hands because the first pick, they always milk it. They almost always milk it. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Everybody knows who the Mavs are going to go with. So we'll just wait for Cooper Flagg to get selected. It is hotter than the Himalayas in this house, in this state right now, but not as hot as Dallas, Texas is going to be. You want to see what I'm eating for dinner? The draft day snacks, chips, salsa. That's all we got. That's all we got. That's all we're living off of. But you know what? It's the breakfast, lunch, and dinner of champions, I think. But we're gonna go. We're gonna ride with it. I wonder if this is probably the highest a player from the state of Maine has been drafted in Cooper Flagg. But we are going to try and pull up, see if we get a live feed of the NBA draft pulled up here for y'all. What's the best one? Probably NBA.com, right? All picks. Probably. All picks is probably the best. Let's see how they have it formatted. Draft board. Yeah, this is the best format. Let's get this on the screen. Here we go. All right. So I know I did a big board last year. I'm just going to run through these prospects as fast as I can because I do not have time on my side. If you want to go reference to my other mock draft, I'll pull that up. I'll have my other mock draft pulled up. So let's actually get that in here. Since I know they're gonna take their sweet time, really trying to get as much ad time in, I guess, as possible. This is the mock draft from yesterday. If you didn't catch it, obviously we had Cooper Flagg going 101, which we are awaiting to be called. But I had some trades mocked. I do still think the Nets are the team to go with Ace Bailey if he goes in the top 5. If he doesn't go in the top 5, it seems like the Wizards may be it. I have no idea what's going to go on with the Wizards pick, but I do know they are one of the teams to watch. And luckily, they are my team. My feed might be a little bit behind because I'm also on YouTube TV. So hopefully with my feed being a little bit behind, let's crack open this fucking salsa. Hopefully with my feed being a little bit behind, it'll be on pace with everything. So very exciting night. Literally just got back from the gym too. So this chips and salsa is going to hit hard. But hopefully we get some people starting to trickle in. And yeah, let's have a fun little draft night, why don't we? We'll wait. I'll throw the audio on every time. Yeah, they're just sitting there camping on Flagg. And every time I might have to you know what? Show the comments on stage. Oh, I can't do that. Really? Okay. Well, I can show that. All right, here we go. History in Dallas.
2025 NBA Draft. The Dallas Mavericks select Cooper Flagg.
Here we go. The draft is kicked off just like that. We are 1-for-1. And we'll shut you up. Cooper Flagg just coming in and absolutely turning things around when things look dark. He is going to get very, very quick usage in this system. Alongside Anthony Davis, you might have the best defensive backcourt in at least the West. Not backcourt, front court. Because his defense is otherworldly. I see him as a 4 They might use him a little bit more on the wing because they have Anthony Davis. They could play him at the 5. Anthony Davis at the 5, not Cooper Flagg. But that the 3 or the 4, Cooper Flagg is going to eat in Dallas. He's going to eat. It's as simple as that. Newport, Maine is losing their mind. He's probably going to be the pride and joy of that entire town. But very, very exciting. Very, very exciting landing spot there. As much as it is predictable, as much as it is boring for anyone that is a fan of a small market team, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Now the draft starts. Now the draft starts. Oh. Oh, shit. My phone fell. All right. We are 1 pick in. Dylan Harper is the likely next pick unless San Antonio is listening to trade offers. Unless they're listening to trade offers. As of right now, NBA.com doesn't say that the pick is in. Could be taking their time. These first 3 usually take a little while. But if the draft doesn't start here and it ends up being the predictable one, 3 is going to be very interesting. I'm also going to have Shams on the back burner just in case any big trades happen. I saw San Antonio trade. They traded the 38th overall pick. I almost had a heart attack. All right. So we got Shams on the back burner just in case we need any details on trades. And the pick is in. The pick is in for San Antonio. They have been in love with Dylan Harper throughout this entire process. And a very, 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 very interesting situation with Philadelphia is going to start unfolding. They are going to be the team to watch. Will they trade back? Will they get VJ? Will they say fuck it and get Ace? It will be very, very interesting to see how this all goes down. This salsa's got some kick to it, man. I tell you what, maybe it's the Caucasian in me. His brother's a dog, isn't he? Isn't Coop's brother a dog? What's the other one? I forget his name. Ace Flagg. That's who it is. Ace Flagg. He's in... Where is he? Oh, he's with Maine. Ah, I didn't know he was in the same recruiting class. But that makes sense. He was a 3-star, so he's not a dog, but probably not a bad player for the Maine Black Bears. Bryce, how we feeling? Bryce, how we feeling? I am sure this man is ecstatic. With Philadelphia on the clock, we're still monitoring if that pick will be traded. Eyes are everywhere. Ooh. Utah exercised, or John Collins exercised his player option. I wonder if that makes Utah go with a big man or Jeremiah Fears or Trey Johnson. I don't think Trey Johnson would be a good fit. Gaffrey signed. Coop is here. Really good start to the offseason. I'll tell you what. If this team makes a good run, I don't think they'll make a run to the championship. I think Coop needs a little bit more time, but could be a good bounce back. Drop right into the breadbasket, but could be a bounce back. I wonder how high Noah Essendon will go. I will say, the guy that I think will fly up boards. Here we go. Pick his head.
With the second pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Dylan Harper from Rutgers University.
It's a great guy. Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle terrifies me in the future. Terrifies me. And, I mean, they're showing Ace. Shit. They're showing Ace now. I mean, obviously it's because it's his teammate, but Ace might be next. Ace Bailey might be next, man. Just an overall phenomenal fit for Dylan Harper. I think if you are what you want to be, if you are looking at what San Antonio wants to be, he's a guy that fits into your future and your current plans. I think he comes off the bench. I think he is more of a 1 than a 2. But either way, I don't think you start him over Castle because Castle has already earned that spot. He's the rookie of the year. And Dylan Harper's not, I mean, he's a 1 or a 2. He's definitely not a 3. Same thing with Castle. So you're going to have Fox. You're going to have Castle out there. 2 very high-paced guards. And then Dylan Harper might be the 6th man of the year off the bench for San Antonio. It's great. He's going to be a commanding force for that backup unit. I think this improves his odds of succeeding in the NBA. I also think it improves the secondary unit's odds of succeeding next year because he's going to have a great guy to learn behind, De'Aaron Fox. And I think him and Stephon Castle, once they fully develop alongside each other, could be the highest octane guard duo we've seen in a while. Like, a lot of what I see from his game reminds me of what we saw before with John Wall as a playmaker. I don't think he has the speed of Wall, but he's got the physicality. He, for sure, has the physicality. A 3-level scorer all the way around, a great playmaker. For his size, he's going to be dangerous. You pair that alongside Stephon Castle, who has, and I'm only saying John Wall because I'm a Wizards fan. He's the first guy that comes to mind. But you pair that with a guy that has speed, that has great defense. It's not Wall-Beal-esque. It's almost like you're getting John Wall as a prospect split into 2, and that is your backup. And that is your backcourt. And I'll take that all day. I would take that all day if I'm San Antonio. Philly is still on the clock. Do they go Ace Bailey last minute? I wouldn't be shocked. Daryl Morey has done stuff again. Now, I am alongside, for once, Podcast Pete. When Paul George said that Ace Bailey was not in the right or the position to demand where he goes because he's not even in the league yet, I agree with that. I don't love that as a Washington fan. As an Ace Bailey fan, I'm like, go get your bag. If he was worried about the bag, he would have worked out for Philadelphia. And I don't know if this report is at all credible because I don't even know who this person is. But there was somebody that said that Ace Bailey worked out with a single team. And that single team apparently was the Washington Wizards. And that's kind of shocking. That is kind of shocking. I saw the Denny trade from yesterday. From last year, not yesterday. We've got so many different opportunities to go after right now. This Philadelphia pick is massive for us, though. This Philadelphia pick is massive. Charlotte could still go with Ace Bailey. I mean, I'm not ruling that out. I think Philadelphia is looking to trade this pick. I think Philadelphia might be looking to trade this pick. Who's it with? Kristen Peak. She's an NBA draft analyst for Hoops HQ. And she is a color commentator on the NBA app. So I don't know how reliable of a source that is. I don't know if she's just saying, oh, I think Ace Bailey completed a workout. We're getting into the final minute of Ace Bailey potentially going to the Philadelphia Sixers. Yeah, Kristen Peak. I'll throw it up here on the screen. Kristen Peak said that the Washington Wizards was the only team that Bailey worked out with, and this was not far away from the draft. This was not far away from draft night. So this could have been very last minute. And I just don't – if I'm being honest, I don't think he's going to fall to 6. I don't think Alex Star 2.0 is going to happen. I'm very curious as to what is taking them so long to make this pick. What are they talking about here?
Yeah, this is a high priority pick for Philadelphia. They almost got a mulligan, right? Because they were able to retain that pick. Could have went to Oklahoma City. Certainly if it fell out of the top 6 here. Where Philadelphia goes,
they're
top heavy in contract.
I think they're fielding everything.
Salary. The question now comes to, do you take best available or do you go best fit? And I think whether it be Ace Bailey or a player like VJ Edgecombe, as Perk said, they got to nail this pick.
Jake, do you think
Because I personally think if they go best available and best fit, it's VJ. But they've been in love with Ace Bailey. I had in my mock draft that they would go VJ here. They're showing VJ a lot. I'm still not all that convinced that they're going to shy away from Ace, man. I'm still really not all that convinced. Like, how can you do that? He would be such a great wing. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I have no idea. He's going to walk up.
The best shot maker, and especially contested shot maker, is Ace Bailey. But do you take him given that he didn't...
The one gripe I have about Ace, outside of his personality leading up to this draft, has been his shot selection is terrible. His shot selection is not all that great, but
looking at your best available, there's a lot of choices.
Damn it, Shams! All right, Shams is on timeout. Shams is on timeout. He spoiled it!
With the 3rd pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select
Okay, that's big. That's massive. That's massive. Like I said, I think best fit, best player available is VJ Edgecombe. His defensive priority, his defensive ability is going to be a priority in Philadelphia because they do not have great defensive wings. However, the upside with Bailey is obviously there, is obviously higher, but the future core is no longer we are trying to win a ring with Embiid. It's what can Maxey, McCain, and Edgecombe do for us. That is a great first 3 in your starting lineup. That's great. You've got the shooting, you've got the playmaking with McCain and Maxey, and you've got a guy that is a good mid-range shooter, not the greatest three-point shooter, but he is a rim rocker and probably the best rim rocker in this class. I would say he's probably the best around the rim. Arguably, you could throw Dylan Harper up there, and then obviously Cooper Flagg's up there. But Cooper Flagg, the main thing you get with Cooper Flagg is amazing defense. But a guy that can score at all 3 levels is really helpful as well. He can do it all. But VJ Edgecombe around the rim is a force. And what is so appealing to him as a forward rather than him playing a 2, if you have a rebound-heavy roster, it would make sense either way. But VJ Edgecombe is a very, very good rebounder for what he plays. He does not need to go in there and dominate the boards, but he does. He gets to his spots very, very well. a lot of the athleticism and mobility he has off screens and even with the ball in his hand is shown on defense. And he might be the best athlete in the draft too. I mean, you could be looking at we'll return back. We are 3 for 3, by the way, on our mock draft. We will see if my projected trade with Brooklyn goes through. As of right now, Charlotte is still on the clock. We will see what happens. There has been a lot of heat between the Nets and the Wizards going after Ace Bailey if he falls out of the top 3. So right now, Charlotte is going through all of their trade options. There is some connection with Washington for sure, and I highly, highly doubt that Brooklyn is going to shy away from trading up. Brooklyn could also use all of their picks. They could trade out of the first round towards the back, but they could use all of their high picks within the top 20 because they need it. They have a lot of guys on expiring contracts. They could just go towards the youth movement and go towards getting a guy like Darren Peterson or Cameron Boozer, AJ Dabansa next year. There's so many guys to look forward to in next year's class. There's also plenty of guys to look forward to in this year's class. But you got to look at what Brooklyn's got on their board. I don't see why they wouldn't go after Ace Bailey, and I think that's what Charlotte is doing here. If Brooklyn trades up, we know who it's for. If anyone trades up, we know who it's for. But if this pick gets in, it gets really interesting with Utah. It gets really interesting. Because if Utah's on the clock and they don't take Ace Bailey, and I projected that they would take Fears, but that would be with Bailey off the board. If Utah has a shot at Bailey and passes him up for Fears or passes him up for Trey Johnson, I would be shocked. I would be shocked. Because I don't think with him only having one supposed workout in, and that's not even something that was confirmed by high-level sources, so I'm not going to trust it because around draft day, you can't trust anything. But who knows what Charlotte can do here. But if Charlotte does take this pick, I mean, it could be anybody. If Charlotte sticks at 4, and I think 4 is their only pick. I think 4 is their only pick this year. So I think it would be in their best interest to trade back with a team that has a lot of value. Washington's got that 18 too. So Washington could trade 6 and 18 for 4 and maybe a second. You never know, man. You never know. But we'll see if Charlotte makes this pick. We'll see if Charlotte makes the pick. I'm going to keep Fanspo on because the NBA draft board is spoiling it for me on top of Shams spoiling it for me. So I'm going to try to keep my reactions as genuine as possible. As for these first 3 picks, if I were to give grades, Cooper Flagg, A+, Dylan Harper, A. I think you could have used in a hypothetical sense, Cooper Flagg would give you more value positionally. Dylan Harper's still a great guy. I'd give him an A. He's not a superstar day one, but he can for sure develop into one, and he is an elite talent. VJ Edgecombe, I'm going to give it an A-. Some people may give it a B+ because they're big ace guys. I really like the fit with VJ. Charlotte's taking their time here. I like the fit with VJ a lot. I think it's a great wing rotation. I think he's a guy that can learn behind Paul George, and then when Paul George is eventually moved on from, your core of the future involves this man. And especially when you look at a guy like Jalen Williams that developed into the shooter that he is, he came in from college as a very high upside athlete, a very high upside finisher around the rim. VJ is a better athlete. He is probably about on par with the finisher that we saw on tape from Jalen Williams, but I think the defense is what's really going to be the teller here if VJ pans out. I think some high-level defense for a rookie. I don't think he'll come in and be, all defense guy. But I mean, this is a guy you expect to be on the all-rookie team because of his finishing, of his mid-range. So I think A+, A- is pretty fair. Oh, pick is in. Charlotte's picking. Charlotte's picking. I think Melo and Ace would be dope. No, I'm not gonna make the joke. Should Ace's number be 6'7"? Yeah, I feel like they were shopping a trade too. But hey, the other thing, they love Con Knippel. They love Con Knippel. Wouldn't be shocked. But I agree with you. I think it should be Ace. Ace should not be available now. And if he is, Utah is running to the podium to trade to get this pick in. Or Brooklyn might be running to the podium to get the pick in at 5. I think Brooklyn is trying their all to jump Washington right now. Maybe if Washington doesn't love Bailey and he falls past Utah, they trade out. A lot of chaos that could still happen here. He's been mocked that high, Bryce. He's been mocked. ESPN, I think The Ringer, and I want to say the last Tankathon, which I like the Tankathon mock drafts quite a bit. I think Tankathon, The Ringer, I'll look at The Ringer's mock draft real quick. But I know that ESPN's final mock draft, The Ringer's final mock draft had Bailey going 3 and VJ going 4. And then Con Knippel going 5. So this is a guy that is being mocked this high. Here we go. Pick is in.
With the 4th pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Con Knippel.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? They love him. We have a situation. Utah could have a skyrocketing athletic wing duo with, they called him a big man. He could play the center. We could have a very, very high upside wing duo with Fears and Keontae George and seeing what happens with Colin Sexton. I don't think that should be the pick. If you're Utah, it's Trey Johnson or it's Ace Bailey. I don't see how this isn't Ace Bailey. I don't know if Utah's picking here. Again, I really have I have full faith in Brooklyn going up and trying to jump Washington. They're a team that has all the assets in the world to trade up, and I'm not shying away. But I thought Brooklyn was going to trade up before. I still think that they're going to move up. I mean, either way, with how this draft is fell, we're getting Bailey, we're getting Fears, or we're getting Johnson. Bailey, I would be shocked if he's available at 6. So Fears or Trey Johnson, I wouldn't mind. I think the only guy I really wouldn't love is Kaman Maluach, is just because I don't think we need him. If we're going to go with a big, I'd rather us go with Derek Queen. There's a good amount of chemistry there with him and Bub. I don't know. There's a lot of things that could happen. There's a lot of things that could happen. But, I mean, this is around the range where you're going to start seeing trades. If it ain't at 5, Washington might trade back. They've done it before. So, I mean, you never know. I had Con going to the Hornets at 8 anyways. So I did get this pick right. I didn't get the selection. I didn't get the location right, but I did get this pick right. So yes, Parker. As of right now, it seems like Trey, Ace, or Fears, which I don't mind any of those options. With Poole gone now, we are obviously committed to a backcourt of the future. I think all of those options complement Bub very well. Obviously, Ace would compliment him the best. I would be stunned if Utah doesn't pick him. But Trey, I think Trey would come in and just be a walking bucket. And he might be off the bench because CJ's probably going to get about 18 to 20 a night. But Trey would be a walking bucket. His defense is terrible. So I think if we were to get Trey Johnson, we're getting Jordan Poole at home. And we're getting a younger Jordan Poole that doesn't cost $30 million. Love JP. I love what he did for us last year. But he's going to be remembered for the tank. So we'll see. We'll see what Utah does here. We're getting into the final 3 minutes of this Utah pick. They are undoubtedly shopping this pick. I think 3 through 5 are all taking their time because they're shopping. I think the Pelicans are picking up. I think the Nets are picking up. Washington could simply just pick up to ensure that they get this pick. If they love Ace that much, I don't think they trade up with a swap here with Utah. I don't think that happens. I don't think Utah should overthink it. I don't think Utah should overthink it. Cool. He didn't work out for you. Wah. Adjust him to the culture. You know how good of a young core. Let's look at Utah's roster. Let's look at Utah's roster. And I'm going to grade each pick 3 by 3. So we're going to wait until Washington's pick is in to go through the grades. But I did grade the first 3. But when we're looking at Utah's depth chart, they've got a lot of potential, but they do not have a lot of now high upside talent. I love Keontae George. I think Keontae George, if he can become a more efficient shooter, Keontae George can be a dog. He can be a dog on that team. I loved Isaiah Collier last year. I had Isaiah Collier high on my board, and I was stunned when he fell as far as he did. Colin Sexton as a 2 is great, and I think him and Jordan Clarkson is a good offensive duo. I don't think it works in the long term. You look at what they've got off the bench. Do you really trust Bryce Sensabaugh and Taylor Hendricks to be your backup, 3s and 4s of the future, especially? No. John Collins has 1 year left on his deal, probably going to end up getting extended by his future team. Whether his future team ends up continuing to be Utah or not is up for question. Lauri Markkanen is not going anywhere because he's an all-star and he can still score at a high level. The pick is in. The pick is in. Utah is picking at 5. Who is it going to be? All eyes on Salt Lake City. Center wouldn't be far out the pick too. I will keep that in mind. Kamal Maluach should be looked at here. Ace Bailey should be the pick. I would be stunned. All the cameras are on Ace right now. It's probably him. Yeah, he's waiting around. Yeah, he knows. It's Ace. Ace to Utah, probably. That's my pick. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't going to make it. But Trey Johnson and Jeremiah Fears being on the board still, I'm not going to argue with that. I mean, that's what happens when you don't win the lottery. And that's what happens when you tank and it doesn't work. But we'll see where Utah goes. I wonder if the girl that said that Ace worked out with Washington got her sources wrong. And if that was actually him working out with Utah. You never know. As I was about to say, ESPN's being really telling here. The past couple of times they have showed who's going first, and then they showed who isn't going second. So either way, 5 and 6 is going to be Trey and Ace Bailey. We'll await. I don't know if it's in that order. Here we go.
With the 5th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Arius Ace Bailey from Rutgers University.
Yeah. ESPN has spoiled it almost every single time. I mean, come on. We knew he wasn't going to fall to 6. Washington was probably trying their hardest to move up. But this is a guy, very high upside. This is a guy that can change things in Utah. This is a guy that you probably were trying to trade up to 3 to get, and he falls right in your lap. So very, very interesting. Very, very interesting fit. It sucks because I would have loved him to go to Washington. That wasn't going to happen. I mean, we just can't have one of the better players in the draft. Not the best player. Last year, Sarr was the best player in the draft for me. But you're not going to have that guy fall down. Now, this could be a situation where he gets traded. But, you never know. Yeah, anybody that thought Ace Bailey was falling is a fool, is an outright fool. So, The Wizards are on the clock. Please be Johnson. I don't want it to be Fears, if I'm being honest. I want it to be Trey Johnson.
Improve his handle and his finishing, but his talent level is really undeniable. A very good athlete. He just got a lot of ability. Now I think he can improve his decision making, his shot selection, his playmaking, and I think he can be a much better free throw shooter. But the talent
Hey, Washington, if you like Fears, trade back. Let's get a trade back.
Player in the draft.
Taylor Rooks did an interview with Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, and she asked Dylan Harper how to describe Ace Bailey's game, and he said it's like playing a video game. The type
Of course he goes to the West, by the way. All of the best talent has gone to the West.
That's how effortlessly Ace Bailey scores.
Yeah, he's automatic. Yeah. And now he's with Harmonica McNutt.
Ace, you're stoic. On a night with questions about your pre-draft process, how can you be so cool and confident in this moment?
I mean, I have a great circle that maintains the outside world while I just focus on the basketball part. So I just thank them every day.
You've gotten props from KD, Giannis, learned some moves from Giannis. Are you ready to go to Utah and maybe use those moves on Giannis?
Oh, for sure. I got some more stuff for him, too. Yeah, for sure.
Congratulations, baby.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It angers me because if you love Ace that much, if you're gonna have that much love for a prospect, go up and trade up for him. But I think it's Trey. I think it's Trey. We've been connected with Trey this entire time. We've worked out both Fears and Trey. They were a lot more secretive about Fears. If they pick Fears, I mean, it would explain why they got rid of Poole and brought in a 2-guard and are bringing in a floor general in Fears. I think it should be Trey, man. I really think it should be Trey. But we'll see. We'll see. If we get Trey here, I know whoever we pick with 18 or if we trade up is going to be either Derek Queen, Igor Demon, or Kasparis Jakušionis, who I had us trading up for, by the way, at 14. So we'll see. I mean, let's not rule out that that Ace Bailey. I mean, this could be Luka Doncic too, but let's not rule out that Ace Bailey could still get traded away if he doesn't want to go there. But we'll figure everything out. We'll figure everything out as we find out, dude. All right. We have got our first wrong pick of the night. I wouldn't be mad at Derek Queen. I think if you're going to pick Derek Queen, you could trade back, but I wouldn't be mad at it. I think he's a good fit. I think him and Sarr would be so fun to watch. But we would have to, I think, trade back up into the lottery to get a guy that can come in and get us a consistency from the wing position. Because I mean, we're looking at what? We're not bringing back Malcolm Brogdon, are we? Are we really bringing back Malcolm Brogdon? No, I don't think so. I don't think he's a long-term option. The Wizards are ticking down. Hey, Will Dawkins, either put down the phone or do something. Or do something. I am probably 50-50 between Trey and Fears, though. Trey's a bucket, though. Trey's a fucking bucket, though. He's a vet. I mean, yeah, maybe, but I don't see any reason to have that. I mean, oh no, you're going to offload that, cap in 2026 anyways. Why have a roster spot? Pick us in. Washington's picking. Washington is picking at 6 as per expected. Is it going to be Trey Johnson? Is it going to be Jeremiah Fears? Is it going to be Kaman Maluachi? Is it going to be Derek Queen? Is it going to be Kasparis Jakušionis? Oh my God! If we got Jakušionis at 6, I would be stunned. But then again, I mean, we picked Bilal. I am going to show some humility here. I love Bilal. I love what Koulibaly has done on the court and off the court. He has become a guy that everybody loves. You could ask anybody. I was not a big fan of the Bilal pick when it happened because I wanted day one talent. I love the fact that Jarris Walker fell, and I was so wrong because Jarris sucked. Because Jarris sucked. He's not been great. But I'm on commercial break, bro. I think we're picking.
NBA Draft 2025.
Come on!
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
How precious to be able to get to see Dylan Harper. The baby photos, I think we need to keep those coming for the rest of the evening here. While we were
This
in the break,
close to Ace
Washington
Bailey.
Wizards were on the clock
This
and they
close.
made their selection.
With the 6th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Trey Johnson.
Let's go! Let's go, baby! Oh my God, we did it! Let's go!
Trey Johnson.
A. Potentially the best scorer in this draft class. Potentially. This is a guy that could have gone at 3. This is a guy that could have gone at 4. All of these guys within this range could have gone ahead or in front of each other. I'm glad we didn't bite the bullet on Jeremiah Fears because I do not think Fears is as good of a prospect as Trey Johnson. Woo! Oh my God. Welcome to DC. Woo! Just you want to know about the relief coming off of my chest. The absolute relief coming off of my chest. Love it. Love that. Can't help but love that.
Up top, he looks like a banker. Down low, he's like a guitarist for AC/DC.
What the fuck is that bit? What is that bit, dude? Oh my God.
Catch and shoot situations and off the dribble. He's 41% catch and shoot, 39%
I mean, just
off the dribble. He gets separate.
He's such a bucket. This is not a spot up guy. This is a guy that comes off screen and gets it. This is a guy that has the ball in his hand and makes magic with it. He is terrible defensively. Terrible. But we can fix that. We can fix that, okay? We can. Oh, my God. Just what a relief. Arguably the best shooter in this draft. I would say the best shooter in this draft. This guy is a walk-in bucket, okay? He is a bucket. Thank God. Back-to-back years where I'm just so happy with our picks. So happy. Let's go. Tell you what. I'm gonna clip that and post it as a short. Everything that you say to me. This is a guy that you probably were trying to trade up to 3 to get. And off the court, got Kirk on it.
While we were in the break, Washington Wizards were on the clock and they made their selection.
With the 6th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Trey Johnson.
Let's go! Let's
potentially.
That could be a very, very bad clip if that does not go well.
This guy could have gone at 3. This guy that could have gone at 4. All of these guys within this range could have gone ahead or in front of each other. I'm glad we didn't bite the bullet on Jeremiah Fears because I do not think Fears is as good of a prospect as Trey Johnson. Woo! Oh my God. Welcome to DC.
With the 6th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Trey Johnson.
Let's go! Let's go, baby! Oh my God, we did it! Trey Johnson. Woo!
Welcome to DC, baby. All right, so I got Con right. I got Trey right. I got VJ. I got Dylan. I got Coop. The only one I didn't get right is Utah. So I think it's a pretty good hit rate. I think if we're talking about success here, it's pretty good. That's pretty good, man. New Orleans is picking. Trigger Trey. Trigger Trey. I was about to say, you know. The Trey from Trey Johnson. I can't wait to hear that call from Iron Eagle. Iron Eagle's not calling our game. I'm happy. I ain't just happy. I'm giddy. I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
With the 6th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Trey Johnson.
I'll shut that up so you don't have to see it. Praise the gods. For the first 3 picks, who are we grading out? I think, let's go back over. With Con Kneppel, it's a good fit. I think they could have traded back and still gotten him. I think he's a good guy. Oh, we've got New Orleans. I will give those grades right after.
With the 7th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Jeremiah Fears from the University of Oklahoma.
Holy guards. Holy guards, bro. Just so many guards.
I would say swaggy as well.
That's a good pick. I mean, it's a good fit. I think it's a better fit than Washington. I don't love him as much as some of these other scouts do, because he's not that great of a shooter. Great finisher. I mean, I don't think the athleticism is there to where you can look at him as a finisher and be, oh my God, like Westbrook level finisher. Great floor general, though. He's going to be a great enforcer for that team. DeJounte Murray might be gone. DeJounte Murray might be toast. I'm going to finish posting this, and then I'll get to my grades, I swear. And I'm proud to be an American. Man, it is great to be a DC fan in the future. Not right now, but makes me giddy. All right. For the grades for the past 3 picks that I didn't grade, I think you could have gotten Khan a little bit later in the draft. So I'm going to give probably a B on that one. But I do think it's a good fit. I think he can be a great role player if that team develops into a championship team. I think having Ace would be a better fit. As for Ace Bailey to Utah, I got to give that an A+. Guy shouldn't have fallen that far. You got a guy to pair alongside a very active rim runner in John Collins. But this is a guy that is more than just a rim runner. He's great around the rim, but he is a fantastic shot maker. He makes something out of nothing, but the shot selection is bad. It's straight up bad. We'll see what that ends up being, but as for the potential of Ace Bailey in Utah, got to give it an A+. Washington, getting Trey Johnson. Obviously, I would have loved Ace, but I'm not going to hate. I think it's an A-. The defense worries me. The defense really does worry me because he does ball watch a little bit, but this is a guy that's going to be such a good offensive player. You got him about where you needed him to. Only reason I go A- instead of A is you might have been able to trade back and get a little bit better volume, or again, you might have been able to trade up. This wasn't the best possible move. However, it's up there. So I think B, A+, A-, great grades. Jeremiah Fears, I'll wait until the Raptors pick to go through those 3. But Jeremiah Fears is a very interesting fit there. I wonder what Brooklyn's going to go with here. If we're thinking about what Brooklyn needs, I think they could end up going with maybe Egor Demin, Kasparis Jakušionis. I think that ends up being the pick because they didn't trade up. Don't be shocked if they trade back, if they don't love this the options that they have on the board. But they do still have Kamal Maluach. They have Derek Queen, who I think would be great alongside a good shot blocking big in Nick Claxton. But we'll see. We'll see what the Nets do here. Oh, handshakes are going on.
Yeah, that's surprising to hear Bobby say that they keep them all. Yeah, because you thought they were going to be one of the prime movers.
They might keep all 6 first-round picks.
We could still potentially see them move up that layer, but again, that is a little bit interesting for that they're saying that Bobby is hearing that they're planning to keep all of these picks.
Well, I mean, that just tells you how deep this draft is. If they're planning to keep all these picks, right, and the talent that they have in this draft. And I believe it's going to be like that for the next 2 to 3 drafts, right? There's a lot of talent that's coming up, but especially in this one, and they feel like, hey, we could draft, we could build the culture. As long as we have the correct guys, we just saw Sam Presti do it. What makes you think the Brooklyn Nets can?
I think it's interesting, too. Does Brooklyn go with a big here? Do they go with a big point guard here? They've got a couple of options when you talk about Kasparis Jakušionis out of Illinois, Egor Demin out of BYU, Kamal Maluach. If they go the big route from Duke, so do they go with someone on the inside or someone who can play on the outside? But I think either way, they
Here we go.
They're looking at your best available. They got 5 shots at it.
looking at it?
Well, it depends on.
I thought they were going to announce this pick a lot sooner.
Area where need is.
Did not.
Don't just go best available all the time. I happen to think the best available player is Colin Murray Boyles, but he may not fit what Brooklyn wants to do. And,
I may
Andrea's point, come on, Mal-
cut this stream at the Wizards pick because
really interesting.
I work in the morning, but best believe I will talk about this class in its entirety when it's all said and done tomorrow after the second round is over.
With the 8th pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Yegor Demin from Moscow and Brigham Young University.
Wow.
Yegor Demin is
Over Kasparov.
born in Russia to be drafted since 2013.
Washington.
He grew up in Moscow. His dad, Vladimir, played professionally in Russia. And actually, I love this. He makes sure, Dad does, to send game feeds to all of Yegor's fans. And those videos include commentary and include analysis that he does in real time. At 15, Yegor.
Why his brother faded up? That's crazy.
And his passing, that really seems to be his calling card here. 180 assists this season, a freshman record.
Yeah, incredible vision. He was third in the Big 12 in assists, and he was second in assist percentage. And you're talking about a guy who's got positional size. He's over 6'8". Another guy with really long arms is 6'10".
I am
but with that size,
gonna be right back.
and length, he is really big in pick and roll situations.
Places in the Oklahoma City Cup.
I want to know where Danny Ainge
We're back.
on that list. Does that mean he's not a modern,
Disappeared.
modern era?
Here we go. Igor Devin going over Kasparas Jakušionis, going over some pretty high-profile big men too. Let me keep this in the frame. Toronto is probably the best landing spot for Kaman Malawach because he's not going to come in and expect it to be a big-time contributor, and the upside is what you're looking at. I'm going to shut that up. But Houston is selecting for Phoenix. They're selecting the 10th overall pick to send him to Phoenix. So the question is, when Phoenix is at 10, they're going to go after Jakušionis or Queen. I am almost certain of that. What is going on in Toronto? It'll be very weird to see. It'll be very weird to see how this shapes out. This lottery is going to start getting really interesting. This is where it all starts getting down, man. Igor's not I think it's a understandable pick. Again, with the NBA draft, you got to think about what you can get and who you can get. And I think they could have gotten a little bit more. Oh, I swallowed a pepper. I think they could have gotten a little bit more. Igor Lowe. I mean the name, not skill. I mean, he's good. I was like, again, I don't think there's that many teams that are as high as 8 on him. But we'll see. Not a bad pick. Hey, Washington. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, baby. I know you're home, baby. Woo. I'm going to go see what Wizards Twitter is reacting. Oh, we're already getting 37-point highlights. That's great. I mean, I don't know what that Trey Johnson fit is. That is heinous. That is just heinous. I mean, Buddy looks like he's about to go to the schoolyard and get bullied. But let's not be mistaken here. The drip might not be there, but the skill is. The skill's there. The people that are saying Fear should have been the pick are dumb. I'm sorry, they're dumb. You got to look at the upside and the skill. Right now, Trey Johnson is a better player than Jeremiah Fears. Jeremiah Fears is not a bad player, though. But if we're going to look at the modern point guard gets to the line at a high rate, shoots with enough efficiency to be sustainable at the professional level. I'm not going to sit here and act like – who just texted me? But if we're going to look at what Jeremiah Fears is, and I really don't want to make it seem like we're trying to hate on him. It might be Colin Murray Boyles here to Toronto. They're showing him. Of course they are. They make these traps. Yeah. We're an hour in, and we're just at the 10th pick. It's going to start speeding up after 10. But when we're looking at Fears, I mean, great playmaker, good at the line, getting about 6 attempts per game isn't terrible. You cannot be a starting point guard and shoot under 30%. That's a little worrying to me in the modern game. So we'll see what Big Baldy's saying going up to the north.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Toronto Raptors select Colin Murray Boyles.
ESPN keeps fucking spoiling these picks, dude. They keep spoiling these picks. Colin Murray Boyles, Crody. Fine pick. Think he could have gotten a little better. Let's get these grades out the way for 7 through 9. I think Fears is a you probably got him about where he's worth, A-. Like I said, not that great of a shooter. Good mid-range guy, though. I do like his mid-range game. I like his ability to finish around the rim. Very physical guard, a smart guard. I think if he translates some of his free throw efficiency to the three-point line, we will see a more experienced guard. But I think Fears is a better fit in New Orleans, really better than anywhere else because he gets to show off his ability as a playmaker with all the weapons that they've got there. You've got Zion, you've got DeJounte Murray, who I don't even know if he's going to be there for too much longer, and then you've got a 3-level scorer in Trey Murphy. I think it's good pieces to have. And then you've also got offensively Jordan Poole to learn from. That's not bad. That's not at all bad. Sadiq Bey off the bench, I think, will also be a really good option for them. So we'll see. We'll see what Fears can do for them. As for Igor Demon, Igor, I've heard it a million times, said different ways. But, I mean, I would say B. I would say it's probably on par with Con Kneppel. I think he is a great playmaker. For his size, you can't overlook that. Very raw. Very, very raw offensively. So I do still think there's a little bit of more development to do there, but Brooklyn is a really good place to do that development. So that's why, even though it is a little too high for my taste, it's not that bad of a pick. Kyler Murray-Boyles, I think solid, very, very good defender. Offensively, I think you're kind of looking at him from within 10 feet, off screen. I think he can be good in the mid-range, but you're looking at a guy that is undersized for the position in the NBA level, but he is physical. He is physical. He's got a great touch around the rim, but I think this guy is going to be a massive piece for Portland in the future, for Toronto in the future as a wing defender. Rotationally, he could make some massive, massive strides for that team. So I think I'm going to go with an A-. I think it's a fine pick. What number is Trey Johnson wearing? And how do I get it? How do I get that? That song is such a banger. Oh, Mary, oh, Martha. A new Offset song. Gas. I'm also a big Jid guy. Love me some Jid. Wow. All of the intel was pointing towards Bailey and Fears, and it was a smokescreen because of how much they loved Trey Johnson for the Wizards. I'm telling you, man, they continue to be one of the more interesting front offices. I will say, the one move I will continue to look at, if Phoenix does not go Derek Queen here, and honestly, with the guys on the board, I think they go Kaman Maluach. I really think they go Kaman Maluach. I think Washington should pull the trigger and trade up for Queen, undoubtedly. Oh, Mary, oh, Martha. I mean, the thing I love about Trey, too, I'm going to keep talking about him because he's a Wizard. This is a 6'5" guy that moves like he's 6'1". I mean, he is just fluid. I mean, you want to talk about just like Swaggy P, not Swaggy P. Paul George, whatever that edit was with that one song with the bongos, the one that went like, you know what I'm talking about, the TikTok edits. But when he was still good. Trey Johnson's got that level. Whoa! Big trade! Big trade! The Charlotte Hornets are trading center Mark Williams to the Phoenix Suns for the number 29 pick tonight in a 2029 first-round pick. Mark Williams has been traded, but it's not to the Los Angeles Lakers. Ooh. Okay, Phoenix. Okay. Let's pull this up. Official from Shams, Mark Williams has been traded for number 29 and the 2029 first-round pick. So Phoenix is not trading that much capital to get a guy like that, even though he has had some problems with his health. This is a guy that can contribute at a high level. Wow. I didn't expect him to be moved. I thought Charlotte would stick. I legitimately thought Charlotte would stick with him. That is insane. Oh, the Phoenix Suns. Come on, Maluach. They just got a center rotation. Phoenix just got a center rotation of Kaman Maluach and Mark Williams. Now, I like Queen a little bit better than Maluach, but we got to acknowledge that Phoenix just cooked. Phoenix just absolutely cooked. They turned a very, very poorly performing, underperforming team into what ends up being, I mean, this is a team that can easily be a playoff team next year. Easily. And Bradley Beal is supposed to be getting traded. Don't let Phoenix cook, man. I love what they're doing. I am in love with what they're doing. Wow. Good for Phoenix. I mean, there they go again, trading away future assets. But good for them. Just great. Just great moves here. I'm going to go ahead and plug this. Wizards lead. Great page. I know they really wanted this pick. They're worth it. They're worth the follow. If you're a Wizards fan, please go support Wizards lead. Big time moves going on, man. I will say, this is very interesting. The 2029 first rounder is the least favorable of Cleveland, Utah, and Minnesota. And those are all top 5 protected. So Mark Williams and Kaman Maluach come into Phoenix, and all Phoenix gave up was a late first rounder and a first round pick in the future that would likely be a mid to late first rounder. But this is like way distant in the future. I mean, the guys that are going to be drafted in 2029 are, what, in 8th grade right now? So, I dropped salsa. Damn. All right, Portland's in a pretty interesting spot here. If we're thinking best fit, I don't know. Who do I have them? Who do I have them going? I think I had them going Carter Bryant. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my gut. I'm gonna go Carter Bryant. What does Kaman got to say? I'm curious.
Yeah. It included that, like me being delusional about my dreams. believing in myself that I'm going to make it to the NBA one day, and now I'm getting the NBA draft. Just got there.
We also talked about the pride and all the folks that you're representing. What do you want to say about the people?
He sounds 12. I'm sorry. He sounds young. Uh-oh. Oh, is that Kaman's brother? That might have been Kaman's brother. I thought that was somebody getting a call that they were showing. Oh, Mary, oh, Martha. Stand up now and face the sun. Oh, my God. Dog.
Second behind Kevin Durant for freshman scoring in the last 2 seasons in Texas. That's the highlight. What gives you confidence that you'll be able to take that to the NBA?
Just knowing how hard I work, most definitely how consistent I am with it. And I'm going to do what's been working. I'm going to keep saying.
We got to trade. We got to trade. Memphis trades to 11 and selects a veteran wing in Cedric Coward. Now, I didn't have Cedric Coward going until 17, so this is very, very interesting. I think that's a reach. If we're being honest, I think that's a reach. Now, hey, I also believe that there was a guy in here yesterday that was a Portland guy that wanted them to select Cedric Coward at this spot. And he goes at 11, but not to the Trailblazers. Ladies and gentlemen, Kasparas Jakušionis and Derek Queen are still on the board. I'm tearing through these damn chips and salsa. I need to stop. Portland! Oh, wait, no. I'm sitting over here like, oh, they're on the clock. No. It's Coward. Okay. Make it official.
We have a trade to announce. As part of a deal to be finalized later, the Houston Rockets are trading to the Phoenix Suns to draft rights to Kaman Malawak, the 10th pick.
Oh.
And now, with the 11th pick in the 2025 NBA draft,
I thought they were going to announce the trade.
Trailblazers select Cedric Coward from Washington State University.
A little too high for my taste. Let's see what Big J Ballas has got to say about this.
He's a young man with the ultimate bet on yourself story. He paid $25,000 to attend Willamette University after academic scholarship and financial aid. Even the man who recruited him pointing out how rare it is for a future first-round pick to pay his own way to a Division III school here. But his journey didn't stop there. He played 2 years at Eastern Washington before transferring to Washington State. He only played 6 games with a shoulder.
I didn't know Klay Thompson went to Washington State. That's casual of me.
And his draft stock has been rising a lot here in recent months.
Cedric Coward was a virtual unknown 2 years ago. You know, he started out in Division III, went to Eastern Washington, transferred to Washington State, only played.
I don't love it. I really don't love it, man. We're going to wait around until the Wizards pick, but we are getting past Brett's bedtime, unfortunately. This has been exciting. I'm not going to lie. I mean, if we're being honest, he's probably a better fit in Memphis than Portland. So it makes a lot of sense. I'm assuming that Memphis traded the Orlando pick. We'll see if we've got any confirmation here from Shams. The Grizzlies are sending 2016, 2028 first-round pick via Orlando in 2 seconds for Cedric Coward. So they're sending 2 first-round picks in 2 seconds for a guy that's coming off a season-ending shoulder injury and hasn't played a minute in the NBA. That's Memphis. That's shocking. That's legitimately shocking.
Jumper like a Melo, taped up. He's gonna have to get in the half court, get to the elbow, face up, jumper like a Melo, tween, pull up, hezzy pull up, top of the key, and get you a bucket.
Dude, Trey Johnson's tape is so good. Trey Johnson's tape is just so insane. I just realized if Mark Williams ends up clearing this ends up failing this physical again, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Ooh, let's see what this report is. Trey Johnson said Wizards GM Will Dawkins showed him clips of him taking plays off during his visits to DC, taking plays off during his visits in DC. It stuck with him and motivated him to be great. Ooh. I do wonder if we stick at 18. I think this is because now I'm curious. This is Derek Queen if we're thinking about team fit. However, Kasparis Giakoušionis is not a guy that should be on the board still, but neither is Derek Queen. So we will see what this pick ends up being. Wow. Oopsies. I just got that pick spoiled. That's mid. That's a mid fit, if I'm gonna be honest. Because Derek Queen is right there, dude. That's a mid fit. But Noah Essengwe. Or Essengwe. Whatever it is. Very developmental. Hyper athletic though. So we'll see what that ends up being. We got to wait around and see. Atlanta and San Antonio are going to be the final picks of this lottery, and I might be out after the lottery. I don't even know if I'm going to stick around for the Wizards. But, I mean, it's my team. I have to watch it. But Chicago's pick is in, and I already know what it is. So if they can hurry up, that would be very, very nice. No draft rights trade in the works for Washington. Trey Johnson is a keeper. Woo! The Atlanta Hawks are trading number 13 in the draft to New Orleans for the number 23 pick, an unprotected 2026 first rounder, most favorable between New Orleans and Milwaukee. So 2 first rounders to move up from 23 to 13. New Orleans has to be eyeing Derek Queen or Kaspers Jakušionis. Most likely, this will be Derek Queen. I tell you what, for a long time, Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears was a duo that was mocked a lot to Washington. Another guy that I wouldn't be shocked if he goes here is Thomas Sorber, because Thomas Sorber is a better rim runner, in my opinion, than Derek Queen, but Derek Queen's got a really good offensive bag. I don't think New Orleans ends up shying away from. But we do have a trade. Let's get this in here. Someone said Shams is way ahead of Stream East.
With the 12th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Noah Essengay from
Bro, he called him Noah is so gay. It's so in Pride Month, dude. I mean, come on. Oh, this guy just had his hand his face in his hand. That was bad on live television. What am I even saying, dude? Is that how you say his last name? Is it Essengay? I thought it was S&J. I could have sworn it was S&J. He played in Germany. So he's French, but he played in Germany. Okay. New Orleans is acquiring Derek Queen at 13. Told you. That's a core. That's a core. That's a pretty good core. I told you that's who they were going to pick.
Whereas his other teammate Ben, it would be in fitting. You mentioned talent accumulation. That's are they short? Are they pants? And I always respect somebody willing to make a bold.
Wonder what the live reactions were.
Option for them. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see. Sean Paul asked, what are the Nets doing with 5 picks? Sure, they would trade up. Yeah, they could. Certainly an interesting option for them overall here. Yeah, I have a feeling that was going to be how that worked out, unfortunately. Crazy hard worker. And I think that fits the Dawkins MO of just like personally to take him at 6, honestly. And that's not shade on him as a player, because I do think he'll be a valuable, productive NBA player. It just boxes you in a little bit more than I like to see them go. That's been sort of the nice, thing about this front office, that presumably the guys they've drafted, you can't put them in sort of a neat box necessarily. Now, maybe they ultimately end up.
Pelicans are cooking, man. Why are you showing this now, bro? NBA Pioneers. Are they announcing the pick?
Robertson, who is also the first black president of the National Basketball Players Association.
Y'all should have done this at the beginning.
A four-time NBA champion and the current executive director of the Players Association.
Chuck Cooper, Earl Lloyd, Nat Sweetwater Clifton, 3 NBA pioneers, the league's first black players who 75 years ago made history. As we continue to welcome the next generation of players into the league tonight, we also celebrate the accomplishments of the legends who came before them.
We know what the pick is.
Chuck, Kevin, Shatan, your father's.
We know what the pick is. It's Derek Queen. It's Derek Queen. All right. I am probably gonna watch this draft as I go to bed, but I do have to be up early in the morning. Just like every other regular person. I'm not going to complain about it, but I do have to be up early, and this is around the time where I start winding down and going to bed. So I am going to do that. But Trey Johnson, great pick. A lot of very, very interesting picks. But Derek Queen being the final pick, they kind of get the core that I thought Washington was going to get. But I will go through this entire draft class when it is all said and done and go through and grade every single team's draft class. Hopefully over this weekend. I should be able to get that in this weekend. I won't be able to get it in Friday, but Saturday or Sunday, that is what I will be doing. And now with this pick in officially, we're going to end it there. We've got one more pick in the lottery. I couldn't even last that long because this is the most drawn out thing ever. But you will see my full analysis when the time comes. I reacted to the big grades. Thank you for anyone who was watching this during the stream or after. Always, if you like the stream, make sure you go down below, hit that like button. Go check out the short I posted if you missed my Trey Johnson reaction. But if you're watching this after you saw it, whatever. And I will see y'all probably Saturday or Sunday. Most likely. I will try to keep my promise on that. But yeah, y'all take care. Have a good rest of your draft night. Have a good draft day 2. And I will see y'all when this class is all said and done. Peace.